we need to do something to make the stuff downstairs spool up again. I think we will just put another fluid buffer there for the time being. Oh, God. Oh, no, 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 no. No, we're not doing this. I thought I had found us a quick way down the factory, but it turns out it was more a quick way to die. Alright everybody, hello and welcome back to another episode on Satisfactory with me, Spacefish, and welcome back to our beautiful, huge Megafactory. In Update 6, there's been a new one, and I've got no clue what happened, but we have moved on right to the next update in between episodes, and I'm sure that we are going to discover more of what may have happened quite soon when, well, you know, we actually hop around, see what kind of stuff we're able to research and what new features may be added. So we will definitely go more in depth on those changes as we go, but today, first things first, what I want to look at with you lot is our manufacturer right here. Because if you can remember, in the last episode we got this all pretty much up and running, and well, things are flowing very nicely indeed, but we do now very badly actually need to get a first set of computers out of here, because if we don't, we're not going to be able to make any more plastic due to the overflow of our fuel right here, and if we're not able to make any more plastic, then we will also not really be able to make any more computers in return. So you can see it's a bit of a vicious cycle. Do need to make sure that things work out for us. Now, we did have a little bit of an issue right here, and Chris can clear that up down below in the comments. But before I go into why that is, I just want to point out real quick, if you're new around here, if you do happen to enjoy this episode, of course, please make sure to go ahead and smash that subscribe button right down below. I would really appreciate that a ton. We are still very much on our way to 1,000 subscribers. We've been inching closer and closer, but there's still a bunch of people that are missing. So every single person does help out a ton. Thank you so much if you did that. But without further ado, let's go into the reason why I'm not able to pick this up. Do you want to know why? My inventory is full. So yeah, bit of an issue right there, I would argue. We're going to try and empty that out a little bit. Well, first things first, before we empty anything out here, right? What I do want to do is I do want to make sure that we've got a little storage container standing right here for those computers. In fact, I mean, I don't want to make it stand too close to the wall, because I am still a bit wondering if eventually we will... Well, I mean, there is probably going to be a case eventually where we do need to reuse those computers in something else. So by leaving a little bit of space, we can put an elevator right here and another hole right there somewhere, and then we can hopefully somehow make that happen. For now, though, for the time being, that's the connection done. And now, I guess we just dump a little bit of something on the ground and we pick it back up in a second here. So there goes the steel. And, well, I mean, to be honest, it still doesn't give me the marker, but at least we can take all. And, there we go. So where in the world these come from again, I do not remember. Oh yeah, right. This is where we made those circuit boards. Now what we're also already going to do is we're going to throw some more plastic at the issue to, you know, make sure that there's some more of these being constructed, because I am quite sure that we will need a bunch. Now, well, we may have to manage the inventories a little bit. Wait, first things first. Steel beams before we forget about those. We may have to manage the inventories a little bit, just kind of depending on how much of what we need where. Well, in fact, I mean, I've only got 150 plastic remain. I do not think we can make enough computers from this stuff. Like, if you look at this, we've got another 10 circuit boards here now. There's another few... Well, no, wait. Those only get removed when we have constructed a badge, don't they? Let's look at that real quick. Wait, before we do, let's look at our first computers coming off the assembly lines. Hopefully, someday. Oh, there they go. Nice. So yeah, those only get removed at that point in time. I am quite sure that we do not have in the slightest bit enough plastic here. I mean, there is more circuit boards coming, so that's something at the very least, but yeah. How do I do not know how to split stacks again, do I? There we go. Split. I've got... Did I right click? No. I do not know what I did there. Anyways, we've got some more plastic in here now, but I do have the, oh god, very strong suspicion that we will be too low on plastic. So we need to do something to make the stuff downstairs spool up again. I think we will just put another fluid buffer there for the time being. Oh god. Oh no, we're not doing this. I thought I had found us a quick way down the factory, but it turns out it was more a quick way to die. So you know, we're avoiding that one for the time being, I would say. Let's go and eat like some random mushrooms. You can eat those, right? Yes, you can. There we go. Little bacon mushrooms there. That's a whole lot better for the time being. Now, where do we... Oh, this... Here. Stop. This is where we've got our little bridge going. Which, by the way, this whole platform is still floating. We do kind of want to build some pillars, don't we? I mean, I even spent the coupons to get them, so, you know, could kind of get that off our list at some point now, I would argue. Now, that said, let us go and just build another fluid buffer right here. And we'll just build another, like, small pipeline. That way, you know. I mean, it's not terrible. We get to store some more fuel, which is, you know, fine by me. And then, at the very least, that means we do use up heavy oil residue again. And that means that our plastic production is spooling up again. Which is very essential. Very, very essential indeed, I would say. What we have, in fact, not checked at all yet is if we're producing the plastic at a fast enough rate for all this. I've got no clue, and I mean it may be very well the case that we do want to need to use this plastic for some other stuff. Well, aside the obvious, you know, I would also kind of like to store the plastic somewhere. Well, I mean, I am storing the plastic somewhere, so storing that, of course, for making like the fancy factory floors eventually. And I mean, I'm sure I'm going to find some other uses for this plastic too. So we need to see. I mean, currently it's only one unit of plastic, so 10 a minute. And, I mean, we're using it for the manufacturer, and we're using it for the circuit boards, so I do have the slight feeling that we will want a ginormous overclock right there. Oh, which, by the way, didn't we have Mark II pipelines ready to go? Maybe they were just in the research queue, but that is something that I feel we want to get ready to go. Because if you guys remember, that I think, if I recall correctly, there was a second resource for the oil. And, I mean, either we had put down a second well and are now just overproducing, or we had the potential and didn't put it down yet because we didn't have the capacity to carry it. Either way, you know, we do want to make sure to get that extra capacity going, and even if we don't fill the Mark II pipeline up all the way, we can always just overclock the oil pumps a little more to get even more out, because I've got the feeling that we'll be able to use up quite a lot of this. Now, that said, we're already up top pretty much, so we won't put a cut here this time around. You can just lag your way up here with me, but we will go ahead and check this stuff out, right? So, first things first, how did I now do this? Shift drag? Control drag? Right click drag, apparently. I don't know. Anyways, we will going throw a little more plastic into this. 45 a minute! One refinery doesn't even cut it! Not even fully overclocked! And that is excluding the assembler right here. 30 a minute. I am absolutely... Are you out of your mind? How am I supposed to make enough of this ever? I mean, like... So even if we had the whole... Well, I mean, we will get the 20 capacity at some point when the other storage thing is full. But even if when it comes to that, it's... Like, a fully overclocked thingy gets me, like, 50 a minute? So we basically need 2 nearly fully overclocked refineries to get the stuff running. Okay, we need to get ourselves back downstairs, because evidently we do not even have in the slightest enough plastic. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw some power shards at the issue for the time being. And then we may also just have a look at... Because I think we never really... Honestly, I mean, we never really ever... Oh, God, help. That was a bit much. We never ever really looked at just how much our refineries were using off the oil, to be honest, right? Because, I mean, I'm pretty sure that we're filling the entire pipeline here with a 300 whatever a minute that we can use. It's currently at a flow rate of like 30. How much are we using? We're using 30 a minute. We don't even need the bigger pipelines currently. We need more refineries. Like, we're probably using 60 units of crude oil every minute. We could, like, increase that 5-fold. Which, if you think about it, means probably, like, 2 more refineries and then overclock them all to the max. But still, yeah, so, interesting. Let us go and first things first push this thing to the max. I definitely want to go and do that, you know. Push out a lot more of that plastic, and that means, of course, also that we fill this thing probably a whole lot faster. Well, in fact, I mean, that's also a bit of a worry that we've also never accounted for. We produce, well, we use 60 cubic meters of oil residue. Okay, so that thing can take a little bit of a beating. But if we go to 4 refineries eventually, we will actually need another fuel refinery for all the oil residue that we get, which isn't necessarily too terrible, because I guess we could maybe use 1 to burn stuff and 1 to pack fuel, or at least partially pack some fuel, you know, something like that. But anyway, so this is now speeding that stuff a good bit. That said, until this thing is full, we will not even get close. Wasn't it possible to, like, block some of the slots so the stuff doesn't fill up entirely? Split stack. Oh, here. It even says how to split stack. I just need to read sometimes. Doesn't seem that is the case. So, you know, that can just fill up. We'll hopefully have a lot of plastic. I mean, to be honest, we kind of need a full container of this anyways, because upgrading all the floors in the Megafactory will take absolute ages, to be honest. Well, this is now a good bit more plastic flowing at the least. You know, a little bit of a boost. These buffers are really... they're almost full again. I'm a little bit worried about this stuff, just a wee bit. Now, while this happens though, right, while all the plastic flows up and hopefully some of this does work, I guess, 1 second, I just want to check real quick, I guess that at least, yeah, the outgoing storage of the heavy oil residue is also empty though, so that is good. And I guess the ingoing storage has emptied a lot too, so we've got buffers ready to go and the plastic production should continue for a minute. Now what I want to make sure while all this is happening and the computers is hopefully slowly but surely putting themselves together, we want to have a little bit of a quick look at, I mean, to be honest, I would like to have a little bit of a quick look at how or where I really want to burn all this stuff eventually. I'm not too sure. We'll have a look at that in a second. I want to have a look first to what we need for the fuel gen. Okay, we have everything. Cool. Then, while all that's being made, let us go. Put that on 8. I just unbound something from my hotbar. Must have been nothing all too important if I don't remember what it is. And we'll go and get some stuff built here. Also, kinda really, 4x4, 2x4, snaps to pillars, metal pillar. Okay. I kind of want to get a concrete pillar going. So we're gonna kind of just look at that maybe as well. Alright, let's get going. So, first things first, we need some pillars. There's a big old platform, right? Is this the middle? Kind of looks like it. So, how do I align this now? It'd probably be better to build it from the ground up, wouldn't it? Can I make it shorter, longer? No. Well, that's a bit of an issue, isn't it? I want to line it, please. No, that looks good, doesn't it? Oh, what do we do about that? I don't really know how to do that now. Let me just double check there's no way to alternate in like the length of this. Doesn't seem to be the case. What's that? I'm not seeing any way to kind of make this work for us. Well, it seems like potentially those pipelines were a bit of a misinvestment because they're not actually working the way I had hoped. Well, I mean, they're of course working the way that I'd hoped, but I mean, technically you've got to build them from the ground up to make it work, and evidently we couldn't do it in this case because we needed to snap the thing to the entire grid of the Megafactory, and now, oh, I do have one idea, but I guess that would mean maybe we try this. Right, we can remove these little foundations that we have here in just a second again. But if we do something like that, I guess, that would bring us back to the grid of the... Yeah, okay. So we've got to do it like this. We can't just make it sit on the bare floor. But if we do it in this way, then, you know, that works. I mean, maybe we'll connect this up again at some point, but for the time being, we'll do it like that. Okay, so we'll just snap this stuff together, and we can go get some pillars going. And then once we are all set right here, I hope, eventually, or not, because, you know, I absolutely kind of royally messed that up a little bit, didn't I? Guess we can just do that. I would like that on some hotkey. Let's take that one. So, maybe the story we can build around this is that in order to support the thing, we've got a little extra pillar going. No, it doesn't look like that's an option. Huh. So the question being, where do we put the oil power generator here? Maybe we just put it below the refinery platform? I'm not sure how big the thing is though, so that may end up being an issue. I mean, if we're already building out all this... Ooh! Damn it. If we're already building out all that stuff down below, you may as well consider putting something there, right? We'll have to see about that. Let me not get poisoned again. Oh, there we go for the time being. So, I mean, technically, we could build this out to a full another level of platform and make that work. I did, in fact, though, forget to put another pillar right here. So let's go slap that together. And then we've got that going. So, you know, the pillars are there. I would have loved to put them on the actual ground, to be honest, but... I mean, it just doesn't work, right? You can probably make it work that way somehow by, like, actually starting off on the ground, but then, you know, can't be on that grid, can't have the foundation grid, and, I mean, I guess what would be a pain with those pillars would be aligning all the other pillars, probably, like, ground height difference would mean that some would still float slightly and stuff, so I guess that's the only way these properly actually work, so we've kind of got to just accept that, I guess. But that's the pillars going. I would like... I would love to get a ladder going here, but I guess that's a bit... little of an... Well, in fact, you know... Oh, we could... Oh, we actually... Wait. I spotted a little bit of an elephant in the room, right? I would like to actually place this on a pillar. And maybe we just do it like that, right? Because the other thing will... more likely than not, yes, not work again. But this way, at the very least, you know, it is supported. And it makes sense. It's not just a floating thingy in the middle of nowhere. But the good news is that we do have ladders now. And, you know, with ladders... Oh, we can just pull them straight down. I needed to build them bit by bit. So, that way, we can go and actually climb up on that little thing. You know, check the status of stuff, get ourselves back down. I like it. And what I do kind of sort of want to do is I will make sure to get us another ladder going right here. Because why in the world not, honestly? Makes accessing things a little more easy. And look at the change compared to stairs. There's no lag whatsoever. I mean, now we do have the stairwell going in the Megafactory, but it does make me kind of reminisce. I kind of really would like to go and get some ladders going in that now. And just use those and leave the stairways be. I mean, they can do their own thing. Alright, well, more plastic piling up right here. In fact, let me go and snatch this plastic as well for the time being to just kind of temporarily boost things back up top. I mean, you know, I do definitely want to do all the concrete floor remodeling for our factory and stuff, but I would argue that, generally speaking, if it happens today or in like 10 episodes, doesn't really make much of a difference. The Megafactory, after all, really very much still looks like a Swiss cheese anyways, and, you know, it would be very far from polishing that thing anyways. But, for the time being, a little bit of a ways up, so I'll place a quick cut and I'll be right back. Alright, back we are up top, and, well, as you can see, our plastic is very dearly needed, so we will make sure to fill that thing up. And then we will subsequently also make sure to fill that very thing up quite nicely, which, I mean, in fact, there's actually even a lot of plastic in that. So that's nice. It's kind of backing up, I guess, due to the low amount of circuit boards coming in, but, you know, matter of fact, once that's backed up all the way, all the plastic will start flowing exclusively into this assembler, which is also quite nice. Constructor, I don't know, I've lost the overview of what's called what here in this game, to be honest, but circuit boards are coming, and we should have a few computers ready to go. I don't know how many, and how many we needed, actually. 5. I thought it was 10 for some reason. Oh, we've got 8! Oh, that's glorious. That is absolutely brilliant news. So that means that we can actually go and get our little fuel generator set up, which is good. Because I think that our little buffer that we had going on for all the extra fuel that we made and all the extra residue and whatnot is probably at this point a little bit full already. So, yeah, we probably want to go and actually get rid of some fuel. So, it's about time to get this stuff set up. I do have a feeling I do want to try downstairs to make sure, well, to check if it does work, right, and then we see. Well, we do still have a little bit of a buffer, so that's good news. In fact, a bit of a buffer, which is also good news. Cool. I've got no clue what flush mode is. Maybe we could have emptied things out that way? I don't think so. Anyways, we will go get ourselves downstairs and get this stuff maybe set up. Maybe potentially eventually. Let's go get this... No, that's the wrong button. Let's go get this stuff going and actually Zuperuni this little platform together. If we don't use it for this, we're going to find another use, right? So... yeah, the fuel generator is a little bit big, isn't it? We will have to find an alternative place. And I think, I've got a strong feeling, that we're just going to reuse the same grid. Get that across, get that out of here, because, you know, don't need to just... Oopsies. Plunk things down right there. And then we will just zoop this stuff together. I absolutely love this stuff, man. Honestly, Kristen, thank you so much for letting me know. Now it's absolutely dark and I cannot see a thing. That's great. It's always nice. It's a 2x7. I missed a block somewhere, I think. Oh, I even missed 2, in fact. Okay. Okay. Now, where in the world does this go? Maybe we need to do like a little bit of a frame around the outside. And then just fill up the inside. I feel like that would be quicker. That said, that's where the conveyor is coming in, so we'll probably abstain from going out that far with the platform. I just kind of pull it this way, though. Then we close that in, and then we've got a beautiful rock in the way. Was there a way to get rid of these? I don't remember. If you know, please let me know down below in the comments. I would absolutely love to hear. Because that thing's going to be annoying at some point. We all know it. Now, we've got those fluid buffers chilling up top. That's nice. I think, you know, we can place one of these bigger ones up front here eventually, maybe, if we want to. So, I will just, you know, hint away at a platform for my future self in hopes that I will understand what I intended with this. But then from that point onwards, I guess all the fuel generator-y stuff is going to be sitting right here. Starting with the first one. That power pole couldn't be in a worse spot, could it? Starting with the first one right there. And, we just redoing this for a quick second, alright? Don't worry. Got it all under control. There we go. And now we can already, you know, hook that up to the fuel generator right there. It's actually quite wide, I do have to say, but that doesn't matter too much in the end, I hope. we've got the fuel generator like that, 150 megawatts, and it has... Well, I guess it doesn't tell me what fuel consumption is until we actually push some in or something. I've got no clue. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Note to editor self, take a screenshot of this, please. If you remember. I totally will forget, guys. Just for your information. You will never see that picture on Earth on the face of this planet, but, you know, maybe one of you will take it. I've got more faith in you guys than I have in me. That said, let's go. Pull our little pipeline right here. We'll go and, you know, pull that all the way around and maybe set it down on top of this. No, floor's too steep. Am I not allowed? Never mind. I kind of am. And then we will just... Well, you know, we can just bring it in right here. Oh, God. Bring it in right there for the time being, and we'll just kind of push it in right there directly for the time being. You know, just not making it all too straight, because all this will be revamped. I'll be putting a fluid buffer there eventually and stuff. Ooh! Look at that! Cylinder is going boop, 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 boop. Cool! Our first fuel generator is running, and it's freaking loud. But look at that. Extra bit. Oh my God, the consumption here. We had some quite crazy consumption peaks, I have to say now, with that manufacturer. I'm, in fact, quite happy we've got all this fuel now coming in, because I feel we really needed it. That said, we're using 12 M3s of fuel a minute. I do have quite the slight suspicion that we're not even making that much currently, which, you know, I mean, that at least means that we don't have an overflow going on up top, but it also means that our new power source is quite unreliable in the end. If we check right here, we would be able to produce 40 a minute. I don't think we've got enough oil residue, though. We would need 60 a minute, and if we only have this running, we're getting 25. So, well, in fact, we're producing enough. It seems like we're making enough for one power generator, so we can maybe eventually also already get a second one going. But that also depends on the usage of our rubber and the fact that I do probably eventually want to go and get a second refinery going as well. But with that said, everyone, I would say for today we end this one off right here. Very successful end to the operation. The fuel's flowing, the fuel's getting burned, we've got computers coming, we've got a whole lot more plastic coming, things are being filled up, so I am quite happy with that, and hopefully it's going to continue that well in the next episode. Maybe we'll go set up some more refineries, maybe some more fuel generators, maybe we'll already look at the next product in the line. Let's see what we feel like in the next episode. For today, we're ending it off right here on this good note. I hope you'll enjoy this episode. Of course, if you did, please make sure to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm as usual. And if you're new around here and haven't done so just yet, also please consider subscribing right down below, as well as hitting that bell icon in order to stay up to date on all those future upcoming episodes. With all that out of the way though, as usual people, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll catch you in the next episode very soon. Ciao.